the pandemic hit. My brother owned a gym which closed overnight when everyone went into lockdown. So I think I saw like firsthand how much of an impact that had on business owners in the Shire. So I thought I could start a page that just posted what everyone was doing. For example, my brother was doing online classes, restaurants were working out how to do takeaway cocktails. In about a month, we received about 5,000 followers. We just grew really quickly because we were kind of sharing all the Shire. Still had to offer while people were at home. Once I started hearing the results from businesses, I was like, whoa, like people actually listening to what we're posting about. This has an impact.
Welcome back to the We Are Sage podcast, a space for real conversations, practical advice, and that sense of empowerment you've been searching for. Today's episode is for the business minds, the creatives, and anyone who's ever had an idea or is hesitating to take that leap. Today I'm joined by a local businesswoman, Bronte Leghissa, founder of Shire Scout, a modern online lifestyle guide, and sister brands Scout Socials and Scout Soirees. From finding a gap in the market to building a highly successful business, we'll dive into all things backing yourself, the journey of entrepreneurship, and what it takes to really stand out. So without further ado, Bront, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. You're so good at this.
I'm slowly finding my feet.
You're amazing. You sounded so good.
Well, before we get into it, I thought we could start off with a few little quick questions, quick fire, allow the listeners to kind of get to know you a little bit.
Sounds good.
So first off, coffee or matcha, and what is your order?
Coffee and a small almond cap.
Love that.
Yeah.
What's one thing you can't live without?
My phone.
Straight up.
Yeah.
What's your go-to beauty hack?
Ooh, probably sunscreen. It's basic, but just look after your skin and you'll thank yourself.
So important.
Yeah.
What's your favorite social media trend at the moment?
Oh, God. That is a great question. What is my favorite social media trend? I think I'm just loving the rise of team content.
Yeah.
So get to know the team, introduce yourself. I guess it's not so much of a trend, but more like a pillar that I'm seeing at the moment.
Love that.
Yeah.
And those ones at the moment, and I saw you guys actually did it, but the day in the life, but from everyone's perspective.
Totally, yeah.
Really cool. And lastly, how do you best like to spend your free time?
Honestly, I love going for a walk with my fiance, getting breakfast, getting coffee, hanging out with my dog, just basic stuff.
Love that. Wholesome.
Yeah.
Wholesome. All right, Bron. So for those of our listeners that may not know about Shire Scout, can you tell them in a nutshell, what is it and what do you guys offer?
Yeah, cool. So Shire Scout is your guide to the Sutherland Shire. So it's pretty much an online guide. We've got social media platforms and we have our website, and essentially we cover everything that's new and happening in the Shire. I found I guess when you travel somewhere new, if you think when you go to Europe with your girlfriends and you're looking for the cool places to go, not the mainstream places that you'll find on TripAdvisor. Yeah. So I've always been into finding those places, and I've just kind of recreated that for the Shire.
Yeah.
And then I guess the platform gives businesses an avenue to advertise and reach a really wide audience, really Shire specific as well.
Yeah.
And then we also have Scout Socials. Scout Socials is all things social media management, content creation. We do websites, branding. So I guess it's marketing, anything any digital touch point of a business, that's through Scout Socials. And then Shire Scout's your lifestyle guide to the Shire.
Yeah. So Scout Socials, businesses come to you for that assistance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So often we'll work with businesses through Shire Scout, promoting them, whether they're a new opening or maybe they're quiet and they just need a push. So through Shire Scout, we meet so many businesses, and then we often form really great relationships to them and end up working with them on Scout Socials. So we might end up creating content for them monthly, or manage their socials, or fix their website.
Yeah.
Often we will get inquiries just through Scout Socials and completely separate to Shire Scout. They definitely don't have to be based in the Shire, but they do work really hand in hand because we can really build relationships and trust through Shire Scout, and then often that sort of leads to other opportunities for Scout Socials.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
And take us back to the beginning now. Where did the idea for Shire Scout come from?
So I started when the pandemic hit. Essentially, my brother owned a gym in Miranda at the time, which closed overnight when everyone went into lockdown. So I think I saw like firsthand how much of an impact that had financially, but also like emotionally on business owners in the Shire.
Yeah.
So I thought I could start a page that just posted what everyone was doing. So for example, my brother was doing online classes. Next door we're doing like their take home dinner packs. So gyms were going online, restaurants were working out how to do takeaway cocktails, or you go off the Esplanade and you get like your takeaway somersault cocktail.
The best apple martinis.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, it'd be so good if like a platform just shared everything you could still do while you're at home. So essentially that's all. I just started posting what people were doing. And then because everyone was on their phone, it was kind of this unique opportunity to grow really quickly. In about a month, we received about 5,000 followers, which is like unheard of now.
Yeah.
We just grew really quickly because we were kind of sharing all the Shire still had to offer while people were at home. So it kind of started on a whim like that. And then coming out of lockdown, we were probably reaching closer to like the 10,000 follower mark.
Wow.
And it was kind of at the point, well, I've built this audience now. Like, what do I do with it? I couldn't keep posting about what people were doing because lockdown wasn't happening. So I was like, well, the essence of the business is still there. Maybe I should keep posting about all things Shire that's cool and fun and and so forth, but rebrand it into something that can continue on post the lockdown. COVID, post COVID. So that's kind of the transition that I made, and it's just natural like progression from there as we were promoting businesses. Like I said, a natural progression as they were asking for other services like, can you actually make videos for our social media, and can you do this? So Scout Socials was just like a natural progression that would have seemed like silly to say no to like those opportunities at the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And was there a moment where you realized the potential that the business could really take off?
Yeah, I think when I was posting through lockdown, we did like a meal collab with Eat Lebanese in Cronulla. So they're like, oh, do you want to do your own like meal and you can promote a thing? And I was like, okay, cool, like fun. Like what else am I doing? I'm at home. So we did like our own Shire Scout meal with them, and they said they had their busiest night in history, even though they'd been open for like 5 years before that post and lockdown. So I think once I started hearing the results from businesses that I was just obviously working with and posting about for free, I was like, whoa, like people are actually listening to what we're posting about. This has an impact, like a really big impact. They had to close orders like 6 p.m. that night.
Yeah.
So I think because they saw the impact and the value we were giving businesses, that was kind of like a no-brainer to me. So I'm like, okay, well, if they're providing this value, they're going to be happy to pay for this.
Yeah.
And pay for like the return that we're giving them.
Yeah, you can monetize it.
Yeah, exactly.
Incredible. And I guess a question that was a bit close to my heart was, as a young woman, you would have been, 24, 25 when you started?
Probably, no.
I tried to do the math.
Yeah, 20, maybe 22.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
So much younger.
Yeah.
Obviously, it can be so daunting leaving a full-time job, a stable income, and a routine to pursue something that demands so much of your time and energy without that kind of financial gain. Mm-hmm. What was it like going out on your own?
Yeah, it was definitely scary. I remember my dad was like I think probably like I was doing it, like I said, for a hobby. Probably like 6 months, he's like, are you going to get a job now? Like, should you start looking for a job? And I was like, just let me just vibe this out for a little bit longer, because I felt like I could see where we could transition it. I think obviously I'm not privy to the fact that I was still living at home and I didn't have rent to pay. I didn't have a grocery bill to pay for. So I would say like while you have those things to your advantage, if you are in a fortunate enough position to still live at home and there's things that you want to do and want to kind of risk, like now's the perfect time to do it, because if you fail, you still have a roof over your head, you still can eat, like you can still live your life. Obviously it's still scary because you never want to fail at something that you believe in, but I just think like if there's ever a perfect time to try something that's on your mind, that's the perfect time, especially if you have the support of your family behind you. So yeah, it was definitely scary, but I think that was a good time in my life to try something a bit different, because if I failed, like I'll just start again. Like I'm 22, 23, like I'll get a job, like I'll be fine,
not the end of the world.
Yeah, I didn't have kids that I had to, raise and put a roof over. So yeah, I was lucky in that retrospect.
Yeah, it's so important to kind of have that perspective and back yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Give yourself the opportunity to see if it works out.
Yeah, and like if you fail, you fail. Like I've done different avenues of the business that have failed, not so much failed, but haven't provided a huge return on investment. Yeah, and that's okay. Like you just kind of slowly work out what works best and what's like worth the time and effort, and sort of pivot from there.
Yeah, 100%. And Bron, a big part of starting a business is obviously putting yourself out there. And sometimes, in front of a camera or anything like that. Did you ever doubt yourself? And if so, how did you navigate that?
Yeah, for sure. I think as like our team grew, and I had more support to create, especially, in this world, it's all about video content, right? And sort of being like the face of your brand, or not the face, but people want to recognize you and know who you are. So I would say that as the team grew and I had like more support from the girls in creating content, they definitely provided me more confidence to, be in front of the camera, could help me film, could help me, like trial different types of editing and different content types. So I think, like it definitely didn't happen overnight. It wasn't like all of a sudden confident to be in front of the camera, but I guess having whether it's team or friends, like, if you don't have a team, maybe you have friends that can help you create content. So just having like a cheerleader as such. So I definitely think like my team was like my first step of kind of getting in front of the camera, having a bit of fun and just trialing it. And like, as you trial it, you'll see what works. And that content of when we're in front of the camera and talking about our experience, whether it's on Shire Scout or whether we're creating videos for a client and they're in front of the camera or we're in front of it for them, like they perform better. Yeah. So I guess you slowly build up your confidence as you see the results from what you're posting come in and realize that's what people actually want to see. So it's definitely not something that happens overnight, but if you can have someone that kind of gives you a little cheer or can help you film or like help you feel more confident, then that also helps as well. Yeah.
I think it's so important to, obviously remember that so much of the public want to see authenticity and they want to see the person whose brand it is really believing in their product as well. And I think that kind of reflects what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
On that kind of content path, I think what makes Shire Scout really stand out is it's so modern and aesthetic. It's got that great vibe about it. How important is branding and that aesthetic kind of content for business growth?
Well, for me, it's like everything. I'm really, really, really fussy when it comes to like how the brand looks and feel. I've spent like a lot of time like building that out with our graphic designer and just making sure like every touch point for us was really on brand. Every year we do a bit of a refresh. So even like next month, I want to refresh our website and like just do things like I look at some things that's only changed last year, but I'm like, nah, could be better. So I just think constantly, even though if you feel like you aced your branding when you first did it, every year there's iterations I believe that you can do to make it better, especially as trends change, as color palettes evolve, like there's always something. So I think you've got your first version and you can try and you do your best to make that the best representation of what you want the brand to be, but then I think it's important every year to sort of up the game a little bit and just kind of you get used to looking at it, but what can we do to make it better? So I think we say to all our clients, if they come to us for social media management and their branding's not strong, well, before we even take on their account, we really let's do like a little brand refresh. Even if they don't have a huge investment, what are like the simple things we can do? Because like it impacts the kind of content you create, how people see your website, how people see your socials, how they feel when they're in like your cafe or restaurant, or if you're offering them a service, how does your branding make them feel? Like it's all very important. So it's an expensive part, I'd say, of starting a business. People often will jump on Canva and not really like, and Canva's great for that stuff. But if you're doing that, create like a strong mood board, like really just be really strong with what you, I guess, want the brand to feel. Don't just choose like a template and be like, that's good enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You want your kind of identity to be your own and strong and recognizable and consistent across all platforms, all that kind of stuff.
100%.
Another question, for those wanting to start a business or trying to get a small business off the ground, what's your advice for standing out online?
I think the branding segment's really important. So take time building out like a Pinterest board. How can you differentiate yourself from what's already in the market? Is it colors? Is it fonts? So I think that branding, how you look and feel, is really important. And then I would say content is also really important. So maybe you can come up with a few series that you do, you know, for the podcast, whether you do a fit check every time someone comes in, and maybe you do a 20 questions with them. What's something that people know that they'll see every time that they come onto your page? So I think have a few strong content series, have strong branding, try and be confident, you know, in front of the camera, and so people can, I guess, instantly recognize you and then recognize the brand.
So fast forward, Bron, 5 years, and Shire Scout has a combined social following of about 50,000 across Instagram and TikTok, and hundreds of local businesses in its directory. What has that journey been like?
So hard. It is hard. Do you know what I mean? It's not like easy. It's constant hard work. It's working most weekends, even like I'm getting married in 4 months, and only now am I like, okay, I can't work all weekend, every weekend. It's not sustainable. I'm going to have like dark circles under my eyes when I walk down the aisle. So I would say it's really hard work. It's long hours. It's really rewarding, and I wouldn't like change it for anything else. I wouldn't swap it to work for someone else, even though sometimes I probably do have those thoughts. God, like a 9 to 5 would be nice, but it's hard work. But I think if you have a strong vision, you're willing to put the work in, it is rewarding. It provides freedom of sorts. You know, you do have freedom as such that you're your own boss, but you can't just pack up and go away for a few weeks. So
or clock off after hours.
Clock off, or so I think hard work's probably not the best.
No, but it's
but
realistic.
It's the truth. Yeah, it's the truth.
And has there been a particular highlight or a pinch me moment where you've thought, okay, this is really cool, I'm proud of this?
Yeah, I would say probably the clients that we've worked with, both through Shire Scout and Scout Socials, but there's just so many I could name, but probably like if you told me I was working with some of the clients now 5 years ago, I wouldn't really believe you. So I think just like, the clients we get to work with, the opportunities we get, the things we get to like do and see and try. Even like 2 years ago, there's a family in the Shire that owned this beautiful property in Vanuatu, and they invited me there to create content.
Wow. I didn't know
like
that.
it was just like you get opportunities that you wouldn't get otherwise, you know. So so many, but I think the people and then the clients we get to work with as well.
That's so incredible, Bron. How cool.
Yeah, it was
so
awesome.
Cool. As a young businesswoman, what mindset shifts have been the most important for you?
I think just like having a mindset of discipline is really important. When you first start, you need to be disciplined in terms of like working hard, like I've mentioned, pushing yourself to sort of be able to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. But then I think like as I've been in business now for over 5 years, also having the mindset that work isn't everything. You know, you do need, like I said, you do need to work really hard to get the business where you want it to be. But hopefully you can get to a point where you shift your mindset and realize that's not everything. Kind of how I was saying before, working weekends isn't sustainable for more than I've already done it.
Yeah.
So I guess shifting your mindset and putting different strategies in place that can help you avoid doing things like that. So I think the mindset at the start was like, you know, work hard, be disciplined, do what you have to do to kind of get the business to where you are. But once you feel like you're never going to feel fully accomplished and like you've achieved all your goals, but once you feel like you can take a little step back and shift the mindset so you focus more on, you know, family, friends, life outside of work, I would highly like recommend it when it's possible.
Yeah, 100%. I love that answer. And you obviously have a team of incredibly hardworking, creative women. How important are they to the growth and success of the business?
Yeah, they're honestly everything. I'm hiring at the moment, which we briefly spoke about before, but I'm hiring for 2 roles. One to sort of support me. So like I said, I can finally take a little bit of a step back, and then one a social media based role. But I would say like, you know, without now that I'm in that hiring phase, I should say, I'm sort of back to square one. I forgot how hard it was to actually find good people.
Yeah.
So I have an amazing team at the moment. So I'm more than ever now really, really appreciative for them and all that they do. And they do work really, really hard, and how creative they are and great at their jobs. So a team is everything. I'm learning that. I guess I'm being reminded that finding the right team isn't easy. So, when you do find the right team or people that value the business as much as you do, just to kind of really focus in on that, because, without the team, you're really nothing.
Absolutely. And when hiring,
Yeah.
what kind of person do you look for?
It depends what role it is. For social media based role, obviously creativity is so important. I love when an application has a portfolio of some sort, even if, some people have never worked in marketing before. My content creator right now actually had never had a marketing role, and she's our content manager, I should say, had never had a specific marketing role as such before, but by just the video she posted on her own socials and different business accounts, I could see how creative and talented she was. So I'd say you don't need to have the right experience in our industry anyway, but use your own social platforms to practice and create content, because I can jump onto your personal page and see, hey, you're actually amazing at creating videos. It's you with your friends on the weekend, but you've put the effort in there to make this video, capture the content. You clearly enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I think what I look for is not so much like your uni degree and your experience. It's like, if we're hiring for socials, do you enjoy even posting on your own account? Because if you're not posting on your own account, well, you're going to want to post on 15 other people's accounts.
Yeah.
So in socials, that's probably what I would say I look for, just someone that clearly loves socials, whether they've worked in marketing or not. And then other points is people that seem to, work hard, put in the effort, reply to emails well, use capital letters. I don't know, they sound like basic things,
No, but
like,
it's important. And a lot of our listeners, maybe young women who are fresh out of school or at uni, who are looking for that part-time or their first full-time job
role,
and they don't know how to
navigate
how
that.
important using capital letters in your emails are.
Totally, how someone constructs an email. I'm like, if you can't construct an email, it's really pushing me. But if you're looking for a role in marketing and you've got no experience, post on your own socials, create videos for fun. So when an employer, you can be honest with them, look, I haven't had any experience, but here's my socials and here's all the content I already create.
Yeah.
And that's like a huge leap forward.
Yeah, awesome. So Bron, closing up, what's next for you and the Scout brand?
Oh, that's such a good question. I think right now I'm kind of in the hiring phase, as I mentioned. So all my focus is on that. Yeah, but I'm hoping to find the right people to kind of take the business forward, allow me to step back a little and see the bigger picture rather than being in the grind every single day. But I think the end goal is just for people to, like most people in the Shire, to know Shire Scout. There's still so many people that don't know about us, but I want everyone to be like, oh, I saw that on Shire Scout, and you I guess saying the name and everyone knowing who we are and not having to explain, like trying to explain our page sometimes, like, what do you do? And I'm like, don't worry about it, like, you know what I mean?
Just
like,
search the Instagram.
So I think just becoming like a really recognizable brand across the Shire is the goal for us.
Yeah. Well, I'll have you know that I recommend it to everyone,
Oh,
because even when I'm trying to find a nice date night restaurant or whatever, I jump on and have a look. But,
oh, that's so kind.
In your own words, Bron, what does success mean to you?
Oh, good question. I think having the flexibility to take the opportunities that are thrown at you in life. So, everyone's presented with different opportunities, and sometimes you can't take them. Like I said, whether you need the stability of a full-time job or different things, but when you do have the opportunity to take what's thrown at you, just kind of say yes. See what happens. If you fail, you can start again. Yeah. So I think, I'm at the point where I can say yes to things and take opportunities, with two hands. So I think that's probably what I would say success
I love that.
is. Yeah.
So what's one thing now that you know that you wish you knew when you were 15?
I would say that just trust that the universe has your back. When you're 15, you feel like everything's against you. I remember like leaving school and applying for so many jobs that I wanted and just didn't get them. And I didn't get them because there's, other pathways. If I was in my dream job when COVID hit, I wouldn't have started this page as the hobby page because I would have been all into that company and all into that business. So just trust, as hard as it is sometimes when people say this to you, just trust the universe has your back and things will play out how they're meant to play out. And it may take longer than you think it'll take, but in the end, it's, all going to work out just how it's meant to.
Yeah, that's so important. And lastly, Bron, if you could leave one piece of advice for any young woman wanting to, take that leap with their own ideas, what would it be?
I would say just work hard. Often you're not the smartest person in the room. There's always going to be someone smarter than you, but one thing you can control is being the hardest working person in the room. So work harder than anyone else, and you'll be fine. Whether you're working at McDonald's or you're in a retail job or you're in a marketing role, I feel like the person that works the hardest always stands out. Yeah. So that's my tip of advice.
Absolutely love that. It's so important. And it kind of correlates to so many different areas of life as well, whether it be sport or...
It doesn't matter what you're doing. As long as you put the most effort in, because it's one thing you can control, how much hard work and effort you put in, then, you'll stand out and you'll be fine.
So important.
Yeah.
So, Bron, it's now time for our Rise and Bloom segment where you get to set a little challenge for our We Are Sage community. So, a daily habit or a wellness practice that you think will enhance their life in some way. So what's your challenge to our
I feel
community?
like it's a little cliche, a bit predictable, but I would just say morning movement. A routine's really, really important for me. I think set a routine that you can follow, whether it's a time every day that you get up. I think, going to uni, being between maybe part-time jobs, it's hard to have that stability in your day. But if you can have, get up at the same time every day, work out, and then that's just done. And then anything else, I feel like that hits you during the day, you just feel more ready to take it on. That's my tip. Set a time, have some, you set a time that you get up, work out, and then everything else.
Because there's nothing worse as well than finishing your day and realising you need to work out.
Oh my God.
Or that you want to work out.
No, yeah, 100%.
Now, before I let you go, we'd love for you to sign off and leave your mark with a hand-drawn love heart on our canvas. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it's a theme that we're kind of carrying through our brand where this canvas will essentially be an extension of, all the women that have had an impact on our community in some way.
Amazing.
So we'll get your hand-drawn love heart. It can be as big or as small as you like.
That's so nice. Thank you.
And then you can just write your name in the middle. And hopefully over time we can watch it grow.
Yeah, how exciting. Thank you.
Beautiful. So the people watching, down there. Beautiful. Love it. Well, Bronte, I wanted to say a very, very big thank you for coming on the pod today. I have no doubt the listeners are taking so much away from today's episode. You're just so inspiring, and everything you've done with the business is just a credit to you. I've watched it kind of grow over the years, and it's been incredible to watch, and I have no doubt that it's just going to keep growing. So thank you so much for coming on.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
If people want to connect with you or follow any of the Scout pages, where exactly can they find you?
You can find us on shire.scout, on Instagram, Shire Scout on TikTok, and then for anything marketing related, scout.socials.
Beautiful. And you're on Instagram and TikTok?
Yeah.
And to our listeners, a very big thank you for tuning in. Please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment on this episode. Tell us your favourite part. And be sure to follow us at weare.sage on socials. That's Instagram, TikTok and YouTube. And lastly, to any girl that's ever felt like too much, not enough, or completely lost, this space is for you, and we're so glad you're on this journey with us. We'll catch you next episode. Good luck with the challenge and all the best.